Hey everybody, this is DC from the DC Life channel. Thank you so much for checking out my iPhone 11 Pro review. I thought instead of bombarding you with specs and over-informing you about features, it would be better for me to show you how I use my iPhone 11 Pro on a typical day and talk about the features as we go.
As usual, there's no denying that the iPhone 11 Pro is meticulously put together. I was pleasantly surprised at how beautiful the iPhone 11 Pro looked when I first lifted the covering box. I love the matted glass back. Somehow, the matted space gray leading into the glossy square encasement of the camera lenses just work. However, I'm still not the biggest fan of the square camera lens design, and that the front of the phone is still sharing the now 3-generational notch look. I mean, one cannot tell the difference when you have an older iPhone X next to the new iPhone 11 Pro when looking at them from the front. So something to bear in mind in your decision making. If you need to have a futuristic looking phone, the iPhones 11 aren't for you. The entry-level iPhone 11 at least has more interesting color choices.
It is true that the matted glass back is slippery, so I would recommend a protective phone case for sure. Apple touts that the iPhone 11 has the strongest glass on a smartphone. Everything Apple Pro performed extensive drop tests on his video, and it seems that Apple's claims are true. I'll provide you a link down below so you can check that out. However, I've seen all over YouTube saying that they do scratch easily. I know these are beautiful phones and you want to show them off, but don't take the chance. Amazon offers an array of designs and affordable phone cases, so slap a case on it.
A pro feature to me on the iPhone 11 Pro is the Super Retina XD OLED screen. I love it. Photos, videos, books, everything looks great on it. Because it's an OLED screen, the blacks are truly unlit LED light bulbs. That means greater efficiency with saving battery power, and more importantly, darker footage just looks amazing. I'm no longer overwhelmed by the screen being too bright at night when set on a lower brightness level, especially with the new dark mode on iOS 13, and I definitely can see things much clearer now on really sunny days as well. Though many reviewers complain about the lack in the 60 Hz refresh rate on the screen, unlike the 90 Hz on the iPad Pro, the screen looks great and things move quickly enough. Their gripe isn't all invalid, especially with a $300 price point over the entry-level iPhone 11 and because of the Pro moniker. It's a catch-22 situation. Apple needs to call the phone a Pro phone to sell a higher-end, more sophisticated phone, but when they cut corners in features, they also invite getting called out. Perhaps the strategy here is to hold out on certain features for the 2020 iPhone to further set it apart from the present phones.
However, if price is a big factor with your decision making of which iPhone 11 to get, I would suggest the entry-level iPhone 11 for you. You simply cannot argue with better color choices, a much lower price point starting at $700, and how it shares most of the Pro iPhone's features. Another feature deserving of the Pro moniker is improved battery life. Apple seems to have listened that we, the customers, have never really obsessed over thinner iPhones and would much rather have a slightly thicker iPhone and a larger battery.
The iPhone 11 touts 1 hour extra over the previous iPhone XR, while the iPhones 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max 4 and 5 hours extra consecutively over the previous iPhones XS and XS Max. Battery life was horrendous when I first booted the iPhone 11 Pro, but after the 13.2 iOS 13 update, things got a little better. I usually end my day lately with somewhat heavy use at about 40 to 45%. In the past, I would have had to recharge my iPhone 11 in the middle of the day just to get by. Better battery life is another pro feature for the iPhone 11 Pro. The phone definitely unlocks a little faster with Face ID with the iPhone 11 to the point where my phone sometimes doesn't even bother to assimilate the unlocking of the phone. It does work with a wider angle, like when my phone is at, say, waist height when I'm in my car. You do still have to look over your phone when it's laying flat on your desk, though. Not perfect, but improved for sure. Something that separates iPhones from Android phones is software updates. With every iOS release, and in this case iOS 13, even older iPhones as far back as iPhone 6s can enjoy most of the new features of the operating system. The updates do bring an excitement, like you're getting a new phone. However, the launch of iOS 13 has been plagued with bugs. The latest update of 13.2.2 has tremendously improved LTE service for me. This has to be one of the buggiest iPhone's releases ever. Personally, if I were Apple, I would have my engineers ensure strong and reliable LTE service first before any of the fancy new features. A new feature that I'm really enjoying on iOS 13 is voice control. Albeit it is meant as an accessibility feature, I'm loving that it takes hands-free of your iPhone to a whole new level. Though not perfect and buggy at times, I do prefer using it to Siri, especially when I'm driving. Unfortunately, after 3 months of using voice control, I've discovered that this feature still needs a lot more work, especially during dictation. Making corrections through voice control sometimes results in more frustration, leaving me questioning why I used the feature in the first place. Personally, make sure that Bluetooth is turned off, especially when you're using voice control in your car. My phone seems to understand me a little better when it's not using my car's mic system. There is definitely a learning curve of knowing specific commands that only voice control understands. The phone does try to suggest commands to you, but overall, the feature really isn't intuitive. I believe it isn't fully developed, but it points to the potential of greater hands-free use of your phone in the future. Maybe another pro feature that may currently be a sleeping giant on the new iPhone's 11 is the U1 technology. Presently, it is meant for all U1 equipped gadgets to find each other for faster airdrop and data transfer. Many have speculated that it is the tech behind the Apple tags or tile-like competitor that Apple didn't announce at the recent keynote, supposedly because it just wasn't ready for launch. It could be the failure to come through with AirPower recently that Apple is a little gun-shy with announcing features that they aren't ready with. I'll be watching closely on developments on my end. Typical Apple fashion, we're getting features that most Android users have been rocking for a while, like dark mode, quick path or swipe to type, access to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth settings from the control center. At the end of the day, we're just happy that we have it on the iPhone now as well. A great security feature is Sign In with Apple, where you can sign in with a disposable email with participating third-party apps so you can keep using their services while sharing minimal personal info. This is yet to be widely featured in all apps on iOS, but I've heard that Apple is just giving developers time to catch up with the many features of iOS 13. Another great feature is your phone will automatically redirect unrecognized phone calls straight to voicemail, so you can tell if you're being spammed by telemarketers.
Experts claim that most of the improved processing happens in the background, providing us with the newer features without sacrificing performance in battery life or faster Face ID. Perhaps the most obvious proof of the superior processing power of the A13 Bionic chip is found in the camera system. Remember, the entry-level iPhone 11 has more color choices, the same powerful A13 Bionic chip, and shares most of the key new features with the Pro iPhones. It is missing the telephoto lens in the back camera system, but I, like most people, personally shoot most of my photos with the main wide lens anyway. The Liquid Retina screen is an OLED, like the Pro iPhones, but it still looks pretty amazing. If the price of the phone is a huge deciding factor for you, you can't go wrong with the iPhone 11.
Of course, it is foolish to ignore the 3-lens camera system of the iPhone 11 Pro, but I thought I would leave that to a more in-depth part 2 of this review instead.
I hope I helped you a little to decide if the iPhone 11 Pro is worthy of an upgrade for you. Comment down below of what you think of the new iPhones. Which model and color did you get? Please don't forget to like my video by clicking on the thumbs up icon and subscribe for more content coming your way. Check out dclife.com to learn more about me and my content. Don't forget to check out my other videos on the DC Life YouTube channel. Thank you so much again for checking this out, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, life's too short, live it fully.